The new Premier League season's fixtures are officially out, and Stevie Nicol is joining me as we look at, of course, his former team, Liverpool, to see how they can fare. These are now the notable fixtures, Stevie, of course, against some of the quote-unquote bigger teams, Chelsea, the Spurs, the Manchester Uniteds, whether you like it or not, and, of course, Everton. So looking at them, they're all across the board now. What jumps out at you?
I think when I look at the way the season has been planned out for Liverpool, other than a couple of months, obviously the first month of the season they have a couple of back-to-back games against top four sides, and they also have the same in March. Other than that, everything's pretty much well spread out through the season, and I can only think of last season when Liverpool had all these top teams to play at the start of the season, did so well, and then just lost their edge. So I'm thinking this is going to help Liverpool. Maybe once a month, other than those two back-to-backs that they have during the course of the year or the course of the season, it might keep them sharp. It might keep their eye on the prize, because I think they just got a little lackadaisical when they were playing sides that they thought they should and would beat.
Exactly. I was just going to bring that up because if we look at last season, one of the main reasons that Liverpool struggled was not against these teams, because they seem to bring their A game against these teams,
right,
but not against the other teams. So is this really what you want, though?
Absolutely. I really do. There has to be a reason, other than I said I didn't think that the squad was good enough, why they fell away. Maybe the reason was that they just put too much effort into a sustained period of time and had nothing left in the tank. This way it's spread out throughout the course of the season. I think, and I'm certainly hoping, it helps Liverpool to have a more consistent level of performance rather than being so good and then, of course, so bad.
All right, there you go. Thank you so much, Stevie Nicol, because these are just the notable Premier League fixtures. We know that they can expect some notable fixtures in the Champions League, which they are so happy to be back in. We'll continue tracking to see how they go throughout the Premier League and Champions League season here on ESPNFC.com.
I watched Roma a lot because I play there, so I've seen him do good things. I think he's the type of player that Liverpool could need. At the moment it looks difficult to sign players because they are very expensive and it's difficult, but Liverpool's a big club and I know players want to come and play for Liverpool, and hopefully Salah will do that. He will be important for Liverpool.
Usted dos nombres, Salah y Tony Rudiger. Es verdad que hay un interés real de un club inglés por Momo. Es verdad que hay una oferta, pero también es verdad que el precio lo pone la Roma. Decidiremos si alguien llega a ese precio, si vendemos o no.
Back with me. So, of course, we are talking Liverpool now. Stevie, we already got what you would do with your magic wand, but unfortunately, no magic wand can save some players this summer as the transfer window is going to be open. Who do you foresee making an exit?
I would have to say that pretty much the starting 11 at the end of the season will be going absolutely nowhere.
Safe.
Yeah, well, not because they're fantastic, but because Liverpool need to add. They can't afford to let players go. Certainly not players that can actually step on the field and do a job. I mean, really, let's be honest. We're talking the Sturridge. We're definitely talking a Moreno. After that, I don't see too many leaving. You know, as I said, Liverpool's problem is they don't have numbers. And now they're in the Champions League, they have to add. That means there won't be many leaving.
All right, well, Alberto Moreno, of course. We'll get to Sturridge in just a bit because there's a lot to talk about there. But Alberto Moreno, you are definitely not a fan there, Stevie. Why is he possibly number one on your list to leave Anfield?
Well, because there's not that many goals, so there's not that many to choose from. Listen,
so is he just a casualty, or do you think he genuinely deserves to go? You're just not satisfied with him at all?
Well, he's not good enough. It doesn't help the cause. It doesn't make them better. That's the key. Liverpool have to get players on the field that make them better. Moreno doesn't make them better. He makes them worse. That's why he has to go.
Well, what about Sturridge? Because he does at times make Liverpool better, and we know what he can do when he is fit, but that is a major question. But would you not try to take another gamble on him?
No. Listen, when you look at the numbers, I mean, I think he started something 20-odd games in the last 3 seasons. That tells you he has a problem. It tells you he's probably never going to be 100%. If you're Liverpool, you can't rely on that. You need players that are going to be available every time you have a game. Sturridge isn't that man. Does he have quality? Of course he has.
Of course. Still young.
We don't see enough of it. He goes as well.
All right, thanks so much, Stevie Nichols. So Liverpool needing some reinforcements this summer, but in the meantime, two that could be leaving Anfield and possibly should, Sturridge and Moreno. Is here with me, and I am making all his wishes come true. Well, hypothetically speaking, Stevie, if you had a magic wand or a genie in a bottle and you had your 3 wishes for Liverpool, what would they be? If you could wave your magic wand and make anything happen going forward, starting next season in the Premier League, what would you do?
Oh, this is such an easy answer. I'll tell you what I would do. I would get a centre-back called Alan Hansen, who would organise him at the back, who would play out the back, who would defend, who would not make mistakes. I would sign Graham Souness in the middle of the park, who would either outplay the opposition or kick lumps out them in order to win games. And I'd sign Kenny Dalglish and stick him up front and let him organise what's going up there as well.
So you wouldn't put yourself in there?
Listen, those 3 players are the spine of the team. There was certainly a spine of a team I played in, and they were the 3 players that kept everything together and arguably the reason why we were so successful. That is my 3 wishes for tomorrow. Those 3, get them in the team. Who's going to beat that team?
All right, well, if I pulled some power back from your magic wand just a bit and say you couldn't bring anyone from the past, is there anyone now that you would like that genie magic wand to bring in? To possibly do at least half of the job that those legends did?
Well, I'd say there is a player, and his name is Lewandowski. I think Liverpool need a goal-scoring centre-forward, and arguably Lewandowski is the best goal-scoring centre-forward playing at the moment, so there's one.
All right, there's one indeed. All right, thanks so much, Stevie Nichols. I'm sorry that I don't think I can make your wishes come true,
not a chance at
but
any of them.
It seems that Liverpool have a lot more problems than we thought.
Olha, falar sobre isso é complicado. Eu tenho contrato no meu clube, renovei o contrato há pouco tempo, tenho bastante tempo ainda, então meu foco é no presente, estou aqui na seleção, é fazer bem, ajudar no que eu puder e meu foco é aqui. Falando da abraçadeira, para mim é um momento especial. Recebi a notícia no dia do meu aniversário também, então é uma felicidade muito grande.
Eu não sabia que ele estava de aniversário. Palavra de honra, eu não sabia.
Obrigado.
We all know there's a massive summer coming up. I think the objective this season was to get into the Champions League. You know, ideally we all wanted to win the league, but you know, it became evident that we wasn't going to do that. The important thing was that we got to the Champions League. I think this club, you know, needs to be playing there, deserves to be playing there. Look, like every year, you know, the expectation levels will be, you know, very high again. You know, we want to do as well as we can. I mean, last year at times the squad was, you know, was not as strong as what we'd all like as Liverpool supporters. But look, I'm sure that there's going to be, you know, a few players added this year. It's important that the players that we've got, we keep them and we sort of add to the squad. So yeah, you know, always optimistic when it comes to Liverpool. Want them to do well. You know, and I think that we were certainly on the crest of something.
But we had already pretty much done what do you think? Tomorrow with Michael Edwards, I must have a sit together and we speak about what do you think, what would we need? So we have to see. Most of the work is already done, of course. So it's not. Now decision needs to be done. That's how it is. Probably kind of negotiations, whatever, needs to be done. All that stuff, but it's all good. So we are prepared. We will see what will work out and what not, but all okay. So no training in the next few weeks. We fly tomorrow night to Australia. After the game, fly back, and then holiday starts for all of us. And yes, I have a little bit of work to do, but I worked in my life properly. Actually, when I was younger, so that's not really work. It's a few phone calls and a little bit talking about wonderful things like football, Liverpool, and other things. So it's good. We need to be stronger because around us will happen a lot and they will be stronger, so we need to be strong. We will be stronger 100%. And yes, different options. We have another tournament to play, so that's clear. We know about everything. And then still then you need to be kind of lucky with injuries, because the injuries that we had this year were not injuries from training. In the game it was knocks and ankle and ligament and really things you have no influence on. So it happened in a challenge. It's not about, we didn't do it on the training ground and had problems here and problems there. So these really significant injuries, they were all from the pitch, from the games. And so that's only, yeah, can you solve this problem 100%? No. But again, we learned a lot, and we will bring in quality now. So second balls after set pieces, another defensive midfielder will not really be around this situation, so that doesn't help a lot. Half spaces after when counter pressing doesn't work, another defensive midfield player. That's not about this. That's all about organization. But I wish they were tomorrow, but unfortunately that's not really likely. So yeah, sometimes the best scenario is always you have them at the start of the preseason. I'm not sure if it will happen this time with all different players. So we will see. I would love to have them as soon as possible in, but we will see when it will be.
Klopp recently came out and expressed his desire to sign a winger. Shaka Hislop joined me on this one. Shaka, when we look at it, we know that Mohamed Salah has been linked with this on Liverpool. There's a bit of stalling there. So as a backup, Gelson Martins of Sporting Lisbon is the man to come for the forefront. So who would your pick be as a better one for Liverpool?
Well, I have to say, if Liverpool go for Mohamed Salah, and it seems that they're balking at the asking price that yes. Roma want, which, okay, I kind of get Salah going to be 25 in just over a week, and maybe Liverpool don't see that as being good value for money. But for me, Salah certainly has done a lot to prove that maybe he's the better fit, or all things aside. Now, I'm still not quite sure exactly where Salah fits into this Liverpool midfield, given that you've got Sané on one side, Coutinho on the other. And
so then we'll probably get a squad player, as we were speaking about this with Stevie Nicol yesterday, and he said that. So then would Martins, who's younger and of course cheaper than Salah, or would come cheaper than Salah, would he be a better fit as a squad player then?
Well, as a squad player, without question. Without question. It all comes down to price, again. Now, I have no problem with Liverpool changing their focus from Salah to anybody else who they deem necessary or worthy, for want of a better description. And yes, Liverpool do have to add to the squad, particularly with Champions League football to come next season. So that's not an issue. Martins, absolutely yes, has shown that he's a wonderful talent, young player, full of running, with pace, exactly the type of player that Jurgen Klopp kind of went to in building his successful Dortmund teams. And you see that as being the blueprint here yet again. Makes perfect sense. Now, to have two options,
all the better.
1A, 1B, all the better. Suffice to say, Liverpool do need to strengthen, and those are two very good options to have.
All right, thank you so much, Shaka Hislop. So we'll be tracking this story, and you can find all the details here at ESPNFC.com.